During the past year, we faced a number of challenges that comprised our operational and financial sustainability. On 11th of December 2014, Cabinet announced a 5-point plan to address the challenges. The interventions that Eskom will undertake in the period over the next 30 days, harnessing cogeneration opportunities through the extension of existing contracts with the private sector, accelerating the program for substitution of diesel with gas to fire up the diesel power plants, launching a coal-independent power producer program, and managing a demand through specific interventions within residential dwellings, public and commercial buildings, and municipalities.
When we did the last briefing, we had undertaken to avoid load shedding over the festive season. We'd undertaken that because we could identify those interventions in terms of fixing some of our plants that could enable that to happen. But we also had the benefit that the load had significantly reduced with the shutdown, festive season shutdown of industry and businesses. However, since the beginning of this year, gradually as South Africa goes back to work, we are seeing that the load is picking up and our pressures are starting all over again. And so again, we want to repeat, the system remains vulnerable, meaning that any extra load, such as what we will see next week, or any fault in the system, pushes us over into load shedding. What do we need to deal with this situation? We need new generation capacity. We need a space so that if you take units out for maintenance, you still have headroom. We are not as vulnerable as we are. And I'll say something about this again because it comes down to maintenance. Because we had deferred the maintenance, we don't have that time. We had lost the time. And what can compensate us for the time is if we had some headroom. In the summer, of course, we do a lot of maintenance, and the reduction in load helps us to be able to take as many units as possible for maintenance. And that's what we did. And we've achieved some successes. However, this is often eroded. Some of these gains are eroded when the trips happen. This slide shows you where, of the build program, the first unit of Medupi is the closest additional capacity that is in the pipeline, and it shows you that we're expecting any time from now to have a switch on, which is the introduction of steam to the turbine. All the technical work required for that purposes is all but done. There are a few things that are remaining that needs to be done to get us to the synchronization date, which I expect is really within weeks. This slide puts our build program in a global context, and it shows you that, in fact, all of the coal build all over the world is delayed. All countries that are building coal-fired. It's typical in the nature of these projects. They are so complex, sophisticated, high technology. So you can plan, and you minimize the risk of delays by the quality of your planning and the capacities and resources that you devote. We know that our build was not done with the luxury of all of those things. The luxury of prior planning, the luxury of the skills and the type of thing. We had to actually train the skills into that project once it was underway. and the history of the problems of this familiar, as it were. The power system will be severely constrained for a long time. Things will become easy when the capacity that we are currently building comes on stream, as well as other initiatives that the government is currently undertaking to support Eskom. Because Eskom alone is no longer able to guarantee security of supply fully. We acknowledge that we need support, we need government support, and we need other generating capacity, including, for example, regional capacity, regional generation that is underway in many parts of our region. The likes of Mozambique, Zimbabwe, Botswana, countries in our region are building capacity. It's optimal for them because they are small that some of that capacity we can leverage. So new capacity is what eventually is going to pull us out, but fundamentally is to do things properly, to run, manage, and maintain our equipment, which is so critical to our ability to provide security of supply and keep the lights on. We again ask of the country to, skip the slide, to do the things that we ask of you. They really help. They really help. Keeping air conditioners to 22 degrees, it's cool enough. You don't have to go lower than that. Pool pumps, geysers, and every single possible thing. Switching off offices when you leave work. Only switching on lights in the spaces in your house that you are using, and so on and so on and so forth.